232 2322
That's the new.
That's the prequel droid.
Right on.
2232 T232. James Cameron's T232.
All
We're
right.
live.
Welcome back, traders.
Hi.
We are
Welcome
back.
to our very intelligent conversation.
If you remember the days of hanging out at Harmon's, looking at the spinner rack while your mom's grocery shopping, reading your 25-cent copy of Amazing Spider-Man, this is the show for you.
Oh, I remember that.
Then this is the show for you.
I remember looking at Fangoria when she was shopping and then trying to get a glimpse of the Playboys. But
they didn't have Fangoria at Harmon's.
Harmon's?
Yeah, that would not have been a Harmon's.
It is Safeway, I think.
Probably.
Yeah. I would always just try and read Fangoria, and before anybody would catch me. They didn't care. Hey, you can get a guess or something.
All right. Greetings from across the bond.
Across the bond? Across the bond?
It's the bond.
Across the bond. James, across the bond.
So somebody's up late watching us,
Mm-hmm.
like 2 a.m.
Yes, hello there.
Scandinavia. So, how's it going?
I don't know. Hey, wait. What episode are we on?
Well, we are episode 60.
Lucky
67.
67. Lucky 67.
Lucky 67.
2 more, it's going to be funny.
This
you might get demonetized at 2 more episodes when I say that.
We need to get monetized first.
Wait, we're not monetized?
Oh, we're not monetized.
Okay.
We're doing this.
I'm done.
We're doing this for your appreciation.
I thought you've been just saving up the checks for me.
Yeah.
32 cents is 32 cents, man. Come on.
But we're not monetized, and
we're not.
And if you would like to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell us how much you hate us, how annoying we are, whatever.
We're not monetized, so we can say things like boobs and diamond sucks and stuff like that.
We can say boobs.
Boobs.
Yeah. With a W.
Boobs.
So a couple things have happened. We weren't able to be on last week because I was deathly ill. I was on my deathbed. Died 3 times. And,
wow.
Yeah. But nobody ever dies.
Mm-mm.
And everything's late. So.
That's true. You're late here and you didn't die. So good for you.
But we are back. And to continue our conversation about conventions, and because last we saw you had gone to C2E2, had a great time there.
Yep.
I actually was talking to Jonathan after that, and he was talking about bumping into you and whatnot. So
did he say to tell me sorry for not calling me that next day? I was too tired anyway.
That's about right.
Yeah. No, that was really fun. It was a blast. It was super Batman First Night is really. Oh, I've heard that's good.
I have heard that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big Batman fan, but it seems like it used to be I would read Batman and Detective. And then they got into Dark Knight and all that stuff, and I never really got into any of that.
Legends of the Dark Knight, Shadow of the Bat are both very good. Really good. I liked those because they were, for the most part, like self-contained stories. So it was like a long-running anthology, 2 or 3 issues at a time, sometimes only 1 issue, sometimes maybe 5, That's where you got Gothic. That's where you got Venom, where they got the Bane juice. Oh, yeah. It's the origin of the Bane juice. Bane juice.
Squeeze yourself with Bane, fresh Bane.
Yeah, those were really good. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. In the 80s, when whenever they had a new Batman movie, they would put out a new Batman book. So Legends of the Dark Knight started with Batman 88. Shadow of the Bat started with Batman Returns. The downfall of DC started with Batman Forever. Oh, sorry. Sorry. But they hooray for self-contained stories. Damn straight.
Yeah.
Yes, Evan. Yes.
I like the mid to late 70s, 80s Marvel stuff where they would do 3-book arcs.
Yeah. Before they started trade writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that anything more than 3 is you kind of lose the reader.
That's really interesting because this is up here, right? This is Ice Cream Man. Yeah. Yeah, this is my pick. This is my pick of the week.
Right.
Here's the thing with Ice Cream Man. This book, this issue is called Decompression. And it is all about how comics decompress the stories, but they're telling it as you're reading the story that they're decompressing. But they're talking about how comics will do that and how, and the whole thing, as you can see from the cover, is a car crash.
Right.
And the first page is like, watch the truck. That's what it says. Watch the truck. And then it says, this story only takes 5 seconds to complete. And then you turn the page and it's like, this and this and this, and this happened really fast. And there's a thing called decompression. And they use it in comic book writing. And then they show in the car crash, there's a comic book laying there as the car is crashing. And they zoom in on the comic and like, see how it takes 6 panels for something to happen that should take 1.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this is brilliant. This book gets better every single.
Really
this does. Is one of my favorite books. This could be like, if they keep this quality level up, this could be like one of my top 5 books of all time. I love this book, man. I never get tired of reading this book. I had no idea it was going to be this good when I started reading it. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then it got a little better and I was like, wow, that's cool. It's amazing, man. And this, like, yes, again, Evan, thank you. Yes, self-contained stories, because when they do take like a 6-month break so they can do a different miniseries, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And then they go back to month. It doesn't matter because you're not holding on, like friggin' Saga that we were just talking about.
Right.
You're not holding on to figure out what happens, and it's not so involved and complicated, that like even if you wait a month, sometimes you don't know what's going on. But you wait 3.5 years and you have no idea what is going on when it comes back. No clue. And you got to go back, 10 different issues and look at it. You got a Wikipedia so you can remember what you read. And with this, man, so good. Yeah. It is so good.
Well, and horror genre stuff has always been more anthology based. You really can't do long form. I mean, you could, but
it doesn't work as well.
Right.
It doesn't work quite as well.
I don't know if we as horror fans have such a short attention span or if the creators do, but for whatever
what
reason,
was that? Sorry,
it's very anthology friendly.
Yeah, it is, and that's the cool thing about this book is it transcends traditional horror. A car crash is horrifying, but it's not a horror story,
right?
But it's like uncomfortable, dark stuff mixed with like slice of life every day. Everybody has gone through something that somebody else goes through in this book. Super relatable. Yeah. And sometimes the horror is not a monster. Sometimes the horror is not a slasher or whatever. Sometimes the horror is just like, damn, bad things happen in life.
Even if you talk about horror series, things like, was it Last House on the Lake?
Nice House on the Lake. I know. I've been calling it that for like 3 years, and that's probably why everybody else calls it that.
But Last House on the Lake?
Yeah, because all I think is Last House on the Left.
Yeah.
And that's Nice House on the Left, and that's Nice Left on the House Lake. And I don't know what the hell's going on.
But a lot of those, that one, a lot of the horror stuff that comes out, they do, even as a series, do it in bite-sized chunks. So it's a 5-6 issue limited run, and then they're on to may involve the same characters or whatever, but there's
it's a little different. It's kind of a new chapter in that story, but they wrap up before they start that, essentially.
I mean, even the only exception I can even think to that would possibly be The Walking Dead, but hesitant to really consider that a horror type book. I mean, it deals with blood, gore, zombies, and all that, but the story fundamentally that is more.
They got away from the horror aspect of it.
Yeah, it's much more about people and relationships, and
which made it more boring.
Yeah,
because it went far too long. Yeah. And the thing about the genius thing and the annoying thing, I guess, both about Kirkman, is I swear to God, the guy was like born for episodic TV, because every single issue has got some cliffhanger, and dumbass me took 5 years before, 4 or 5 years before I was like, well, this isn't going to resolve. I don't care. I don't care anymore. But I mean, I read it all the way to the end, and I thought it was good. Not amazing, maybe close to great, but good. It was a lot better than the show was.
Yeah,
a lot better than the show was. And it's because that's one thing you run into sometimes is in comics. It's one thing I love about comics. There's no budget.
Right.
And you don't have to go to a producer and say, hey, we need 7 more zombies. Can we have like another 50 grand to make them up and put them in? You don't have to do that. You just draw more in. And that's like always been the beauty of comics, is you can put whatever you want in there. And I wasn't going to talk about something like this, but when you look, that's what's kind of disappointing about a lot of the stuff. I was flipping through the new Ultimate X-Men yesterday. No backgrounds, no details, nothing. And I'm like, why, man? I don't think Peach Momoko should be doing a monthly book. No. I just don't. No. Her art style is not suited to that. And I don't think she should be doing Marvel stuff. I think what she should be doing is becoming the next Junji Ito.
Oh, yeah.
Because she could do it, man. Because some of her stuff is nightmarish and really cool, But I feel, just me, I feel that she should be doing, like a graphic novel series in manga. The only budget in comics is time. Yes, that is true. But true. I know, Evan, in your books, there are backgrounds. So don't, but that is true. It is time. And that is also, I think, I feel like where Moko starts having some trouble, because if she's doing, 15 covers a month, you can't expect her to do a detailed 32-page book. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
And I think that they're pulling everything they can out of her. And I almost feel like she's going to be one of those creators that is like this well-loved creator that gets burned out on comics and just moves on to something else.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of people in comics doing that. And it's sad because I think she's talented. I think she's like really good when you can tell that she has put some time into it. Like there's
for sure.
And one of the it's crazy because one of the Ultimate X-Men covers from this week, gorgeous, just oh my God, it's beautiful, man. And I'm like, this is what I would want to see inside. If it looked like this inside, I'd probably be buying it, but it does not.
Yeah. Cliffhangers are the best part of the Batman TV series. True, mm-hmm. Very true.
Yep.
But Moko should really do something else other than X-Men.
Yeah, I agree.
I think she's done really good work with the X-Men characters. But to me, I agree completely with everything you just said. Her strength.
Did you guys get that? You hear that?
Her strength lies in taking her time
mm-hmm.
to perfect her style.
Yeah,
like that's her style, what she does. And when she's rushed, a great example is No Heroine #1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
She did those covers for Hive Comics,
mm-hmm.
and they are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're god awful.
They're not awesome.
No, they're horrible. Is what they
I mean,
are.
I liked the cover for the number one,
I don't like any of them.
but and I mean,
They're just terrible.
I wouldn't say they're terrible, but I would say they definitely look like she became in demand at that point.
Yeah, she was extremely rushed to get those out.
Yeah.
And then you look at like her Power Rangers cover when she had the time to do Power Rangers number one.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful cover. That Red Ranger with the half
Yeah,
helmet on.
yeah.
It's just a beautiful
And
cover.
the other thing about her that I don't think writing is her deal.
No.
Unless it is going to be something like that horror manga stuff. If she, like I said, if she kind of became the next Ito, then I think that would be fantastic. I'd read every damn thing she did.
Well, and she said, I was watching an interview with her and Comic Tom, and she said that what she liked, what she wanted to do is more Japanese style body horror stuff.
Yeah,
and she's fantastic.
And she'd be amazing with that.
Yeah, but and same thing could be said for our writers too. I mean, Tinian does great work when he's not being.
It's
rushed.
Tinian. I found out actually it is Tinian.
Tinian.
Tinian. Not Tinian. Like tiny onion.
Tiny onion. Tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But he does brilliant work when he's allowed to.
Yeah.
Joe Hill, brilliant work when he's allowed to.
Yeah.
But you put him on 10 different books and something's going to fall by the wayside.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. I mean, you can't do that. There's only a certain amount of people I think that can keep up the quality with that, and I don't know how they do it. Like Charles Soule did. Bendis did. He doesn't write much of anything anymore, really. He's
I'm sure he's burned out.
Miniseries here and there, or whatever. Cullen Bunn, I don't know how the hell he's doing it. I don't understand how he writes his stuff.
Yeah, he's a machine.
I mean, it's like, then and there's that difference with Cullen stuff is we've talked about this before. You can tell when he's getting a paycheck, and you can tell when he is doing a creator-owned passion project. It's Monsters in My Business. That is such a funny book. It is so fun and enjoyable, and you can tell he's just having a blast doing it. And then they're gonna, then they'll throw him on an X-Men book, and it'll be like, okay, X-Men, feared and hated. I got all the Claremont quotes here. Put this in. Like that happened, tied into the other 14 X-Men books, and I get a check.
Yeah.
You can tell when it's hired work, I think. I mean, I don't know if I've ever read anything that he's done that I would quantify as bad. Like I don't know if I've ever read anything that he's done where I put it down and I was like, yeah, that was not good. But there are some things that are not as good.
Yeah, and there are writers that are suited for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are writers. Yeah. Kevin Smith is a good Daredevil writer because he understands the character. He loves the character.
Yeah,
that means something to him.
Right. And I'm not the biggest Kevin Smith fan, but I loved his Daredevil.
Yeah,
it was so good.
Yeah.
And then he wrote the Spider-Man Black Cat. It was awful.
Yeah, that was not great.
It's not good at all. But I'm still waiting for that second issue of Daredevil Target, though.
Green Hornet was decent.
That second issue of Daredevil Target's got to come out. The first issue came out when the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie came out. Still waiting, man. Still waiting, Kevin. I know you're watching this, Kevin Smith. only if he was so high that he's just scrolling through Facebook. He's like, "Who are these idiots?"
I heard that they mentioned me.
Yeah, well, man. But yeah, I think that's a good point, though, is the decompression and the writing for trades situation. I think that's unfortunately where a lot of companies have fallen into, and that's one thing I loved about like the Creep Show stuff. They did one miniseries, they did another miniseries, they did a one shot. It's like they're not writing a one shot for a trade. They just had Joe Hill write a one shot based on a story that he wrote and said, "Okay, we're just going to put this out." It has nothing to do with the trade, reprints, nothing. They just wanted to put the book out, and it was fun and it was really cool.
I mean, I wish that they would just write a trade.
Yeah, if they're going to do that, just write a trade.
Just write a trade and
just do an original graphic novel.
Yeah,
just do it. or an Ogden, I think I read is what those are called.
Ogden?
OGN?
OGN?
Ogden? OGB, OBG,
a non-floppy.
OGBYN? That's a different.
Yeah.
That's, anyway, yeah.
Fine with
No, they're
that.
still floppy. Look, why do people call these
They
things
are
floppy? Look
floppy.
at how floppy that is, man. Look at that thing. This one's on sale now. It was anyway, but yeah. So it was. Yeah, it was. It's like I wish they would kind of quit doing that, but I know it's mandated by editors, companies,
Yeah.
CEOs, VPs.
Well, it would
whatever.
make a lot more sense to me to just put out, take their entire 6 issues, just put out a graphic novel, because you're going to get 3 issues in, sales are going to die off, and you're going to kill it.
Right. Yeah.
And then we're going to be stuck waiting, 2 years for the next issue of Briar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
anyway, yeah.
do the community a solid, put it out in a graphic novel, and call it a day.
Yeah. I think that's a good.
Especially when a lot of this stuff is written already.
Yeah. Except Saga. Saga is not written already. I don't care what he says. There's no way that thing is written.
Yeah.
Absolutely no. If that's written, I have a really hard time believing that Fiona Staples took 3.5 years to write an issue or to draw an issue.
I don't know.
And if she did, I'm sorry, but there needs to be a different artist.
Yeah.
If it takes you 5-6 months to draw an issue of a comic, you may be in the wrong business. You might be in the wrong business.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how beautiful your art is, and her art is amazing. I think it's fantastic. It's beautiful stuff, man. But if you can't, you are working in an industry where there are periodicals, and that doesn't mean they periodically come out. That means there's a set schedule. There's a period in between those things that they need to be out.
Right.
That it just has to. You just have to. And then that's the industry that you've gotten into. And I understand, being in this industry. Yeah, well, yeah, come on.
You got a little bit going on, Evan.
That's all you've got going on, right? It's just writing a book. I mean, whatever, dude. No, but there's an expectation in this industry. And if they did a graphic novel and not a periodical, there wouldn't be that expectation. So they could just pop it out.
I don't think there is. I don't think there is an expectation.
Well, not anymore, because everybody's used to Image's 6, 7, 8, 9 month hiatus.
The Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, the big 2, there's an expectation for those to come out every month, because it's a corporate, just churning them out.
Yeah.
Situation.
It's an IP machine.
At this point, there's no expectation for the next issue of Uncanny Valley.
Right? Yeah. Who knows when
the expectation, because it's Boom. Maybe Boom, IDW. Some of the bigger indies are like, get them out on.
They
time.
may be more concerned with it, but not quite as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not saying Uncanny Valley's coming out sporadically.
No. I mean, it's 2 issues in, and it's a month away. So cool.
I'm pretty sure that Tony's got things under control for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of the stuff, you pick up a new book and you don't know if it's going to be around for issue 5.
Yeah. I mean, The Punisher just got canceled issue 4.
Wow.
It's done. And they, excuse me. Marvel was saying, that's weird. Usually you cough before you drink.
Yeah.
They get old. Anyway. And I heard that Marvel had been talking about, giving like a, okay, well, we're doing a new series. We're going to give it 12. We're going to give it 8. We're going to give it, whatever.
Give it a guaranteed run?
Yes. Yeah. And I like that, but it also makes me nervous, because that means that a lot of new ideas may not fly with them. It's like, oh man, what if it doesn't sell well? We've guaranteed them a 12-issue run. Well, we're not going to take a chance on that new idea. We're just going to do another X-Men book.
Yeah.
So, which they keep announcing.
X-Men
I get an
books.
email every other day, basically, just talking about a new X-Men book, X Factor, Storm, Exceptional X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Wolverine, um, X-Men, Dazzler series, new X Factor series, new X Force series. Like they're not stopping, man.
Well, they've got to. They're counting on X-Men and the MCU to be their next big push.
Yeah, but
So they got to
people are
make sure that
dropping
everything's
them.
there.
People are saying drop X-Men after number, whatever. Drop Wolverine after this run. Like people are dropping it. Shit, I am.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, for all the people that are like, oh yeah, and Storm's joining the Avengers too.
Storm is?
Yeah, so the Avengers are going to be an X-Men crossover now. Yeah, and it's like, what? Really?
Planetary took ages to draw, but it's fantastic.
Yes, and also Planetary shouldn't have taken ages to draw. But again, I always feel, and I hate to say this, but I always feel like if you're doing this full time and this is your job, that's all you should be doing.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
but Planetary, again, though, Planetary was one of those that was mostly self-contained every issue.
Yeah.
That was totally fine, man. You didn't need, it's not like I picked up an issue of Planetary and yeah, it was unbelievably good. But it's not like I picked up an issue of Planetary and I was like, oh man, what happened last month? I can't remember. It didn't matter. Because it was just them going on a new thing, and then Elijah Snow would every now and again, do something that kicked back to a previous issue, which Ice Cream Man does a lot in the background and some of the details. If you really look at this book, you will find all sorts of stuff from past issues.
Well, I found,
but you can read them totally out of order, and it doesn't matter.
I got, into the 20s, and when I realized this is like American Horror Story in the way that it ties back to the first and into Ha Ha.
Yes, and, except just 100% less Kardashians. Thank God.
I didn't even know that there was a Kardashian.
In the new American Horror Story series, there is, and I haven't watched it. I don't think I can do it.
I watched the first couple episodes, and I was not there. But
yeah, Kim Kardashian is in them.
Yeah,
that's just a sure way to have me not check it out. But yeah, that's also a good example of those Planetary.
Yeah.
But of something that maybe doesn't need to be every month.
I mean, I honestly think that that's kind of the way of the future. At least certainly in independent books, they're going to start producing these more, like it may be a cohesive world, but they're going to be more standalone stories, maybe 2-3 issues.
And I hope so. Yeah, I really hope so. And I would love to see that because I got to tell you, man, there's so much. I don't know what's happening in the X-Men. Like, when they not restarted, but, I guess restarted, the Krakoan age or whatever the hell they want to call it now, But when Hickman came in, and there's a lot of Hickman stuff that I don't enjoy, but that I thought was great. It was a new take on it. It explained a lot. It was kind of like a lot of people don't like the Three Jokers. I thought it was good because you have to have it. There has to be something to explain this, man, and they did the best you could with it. The X-Men, why the hell do they keep coming back from the dead? Are you kidding me? X-Men don't die.
Yeah.
And they're never late. But I mean, you get that,
Damien?
And you get that situation when they restarted this, they had 4 or 5 core titles and they were like, okay, this is what we're doing. And then before you know it, we've got 6 or 7 of them. Then we got 9 or 10 of them. Then we got a couple of miniseries. Then we have some one-shots. Then we have some other miniseries. And then we got 15 books again.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on.
I mean, I would be reading X-Men if there wasn't just so many titles.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I can't afford it. I can't financially afford it.
No.
I can't financially afford to follow Batman.
Yeah.
There's only so much money to go around,
and it just gets, and I mean, I hate to be the guy. It's like always like because I don't make comics. I don't, I don't make comics. I don't know what all there is. I mean, I got a good idea of what's involved in them. You know what I mean? But I don't do it. Um, and there's always things that come up, but I also feel if there is something that comes up, let's be honest with your fans about it.
Yeah.
Man, it's like,
and there's certainly a lack of transparency.
Absolutely, man. And with the creators too, a lot of the time. And I sometimes don't understand, but I can respect the fact, that somebody's like, hey, look, you know what? And I can't remember who that was, but somebody had a house fire, and a bunch of their pages got burned up. And they were like, okay, this sucks. I'm having a really shitty day. My house caught on fire. My page is burned. It's going to be another month, 2 months, 3 months before this thing comes out. I don't know how long it's going to be, but you know what? It's like, yeah, just be transparent. Let us know, because we'll understand, man.
Yeah,
we'll understand a lot more than if we feel like you've just abandoned us in the middle of a story.
Yeah. Batman seems easier to just read a title or two, and I think that's very true. I think Batman, I was really on the detective kick for a while. Then they started this new stuff on the Joker stuff on Batman.
Yeah.
And I've really been enjoying that, so I'm back kind of favoring Batman a bit. X-Men feels like if you don't follow most of them, you'll be confused. I mean, that's the problem. There's just so many titles, and you don't know where they fit into each other.
Yeah. And that's why when they put all this stuff out, I'm just going to be doing, I'm just going to be basically doing Wolverine and Deadpool, because they're pretty standalone most of the time.
Yeah. Single issues were a real chunk of entertainment. They're talking, back when we were kids growing up, and just grab a book and get pretty much a self-contained.
Yeah.
And yeah, they take these, like you were talking about decompressing, they take these stories and they take what could fit into their 32-page book and spread it out over 12 issues with a lot of art.
I mean, if you truly want to know what decompression is, I keep bringing this up. It's sad as hell, and it's emotional, but this book, when you say like, oh, if you look in the dictionary under dumbass, my picture's there, whatever. But if you are looking for a literal layout of what decompression, it's literally this. I mean, it's so brilliant the way they do it, and they explain so much about comics in a comic. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how this guy does this.
Yeah. I definitely feel that he's one of the underrated writers that we have going right now.
And he put himself into this one.
So I did want to touch on the convention thing. Ice Cream Man is endlessly creative. Yes, it is. So, and the reason I want to touch on it is we got a few things coming up. I'm just going to hit on those real quick. OgdenCon for our Utah people. OgdenCon is coming up July 6th. If you want to be a vendor at OgdenCon, there are still some vendor spots. If you are a comic book creator and you want to participate, contact Jared Rudy Entertainment. He's on Facebook. Look up OgdenCon 2024. And it's $1 entry to get in. And it's a great cause. They're doing it for primary children's. So let's support them with that.
Which is better than the secondary children's hospital. They don't have a lot of equipment.
Yeah, they don't have a lot going on there.
They don't.
They don't.
Sorry, that was awesome.
Also, C3. I got my C3.
There you go.
My C3 merch going on.
There you go.
C3 5, and you can find a link to C3 to Rob's Fat Stacks in the description below. Go check out Rob's channel. He has some great stuff. If you're a slab collector, he does like only slab show.
Right, Slayer. If you want to listen to that, I guess.
But C3 Comics Curing Cancer, all the money raised over 5 days, and he's just got tons of participating channels. All that money is going to the American Cancer Society. They raised over $50,000 last year, and
Wow.
they're hoping to
Yeah.
knock that out of the park. So
I don't know if I'm going to be at the Ogden Con or not. I might have a signing on that day.
really,
Yeah, I got so much stuff coming up. We have another signing in
Right.
August, and
and you
all
have a
kinds of
little
stuff.
convention coming up.
We got a little convention coming up on June 22nd.
Yeah, flyers will be out. I tried to get him to print it up, and he wouldn't.
I don't like doing what I'm told.
He's like, screw our viewers and Utah comics.
It's exactly what I said. Exact word for word,
But tons of
letter for letter.
like
Yeah.
everybody who's anybody in Utah comics is going to be here.
It's going to be big. I was looking at that flyer, it's telling you we've got 11 people signing,
Wow, that's insane.
which is nuts.
For an in-store signing, your 20th anniversary.
Yep. And for that one day, 20% off everything in the
20% off
store.
everything.
Everything in the store.
Nice. So come and get your Black Cat t-shirt, tote bags.
Yeah,
Get it all.
Statues, figures. If you buy everything, I'll give you 30% off.
Evan said he's going to be at OgdenCon.
Yes.
Doing signings, sketching, selling his book, The Wasatch Wonders. That'll
Nice.
be super cool. Is he going to be here for the anniversary?
I'm not officially signing, but I'm
Oh.
sure he'll pop in.
All right.
Right, Evan? Sorry. No pressure.
ASM here has 2 to 3 issues. It's the only Marvel DC book that is still published here. Oh, wow. Okay.
What's that?
ASM has 2 to 3 issues in it.
Oh, yeah, it's probably the Panini, right?
Yeah,
Is it Panini that does it? Yeah.
Evan said he'll be here
All right.
on anniversary.
You can even hang out over at the by the counter and sign your books. I don't care. Come on over, everybody come in. We'll find more tables to put people at. I
We'll
guess.
figure
I don't
it
know.
out.
We'll figure something out.
And what date is that?
22nd,
22nd.
June 22nd.
Woo! It's going to
Yep.
be crazy. It's going to be
nuts.
crazy. And we're
yeah, I
gonna-
can't stop doing things.
Yeah. 22nd of June. So we're going to be doing
Egmont's Story House. Okay.
Comic Book Roadshow. So if anybody, we're going to be filming live. I'm going to try to take a couple of these creators and sit them down and have little conversations with them. Maybe get Greg to chat with a couple of them if he's not too busy.
And you know what? Depending on how the day goes, I may even be drunk.
It could happen. You don't know.
I think I know. No, no, it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, 20 years. Oh, God.
That's an impressive run. Like everything that you've been through. And
Single owner shop, 20 years.
yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts.
Yep. And I mean, again, we've had recessions and, a couple of recessions and wars and pandemic and construction and earthquakes. And
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not even kidding, man. All this crap has happened.
I don't know how you were able to survive construction during the pandemic. Like that was insane.
Yeah.
Like that tells you a lot about the dedication of a Utah comic book fan
Jeez. Right.
to keep a store that sells only comics up and running.
And it's 20 years ago, almost to the day, that people will come in and go, "You're not going to make it because all you sell is comics."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Thank you very much for your confidence in me. I really appreciate that." So
I don't know how many times I've said I don't know how you stay in business with nothing but comics.
just money laundering.
I
work for the mob.
the comic book mafia.
Comic book mafia, yeah, it's it's been it's been fun. I mean, God, man, we've had a couple of floods. We've had car crash through the side. We've been broken into a few times. We've been through some crap, man. When I started thinking about this, maybe this might be the last year. No, it is, and you're right. I mean, the comic book community in Utah is super, 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 super loyal, and just most there's turds, but no, I mean, the
they
community
moved back east.
They went away.
Both of them.
There you go, those guys. Yeah. No, it's there's like dedication to this stuff. I'd have a whole lot of people that would like, hey, ship me books, or there's
Yeah.
nothing new. What back issues can you recommend? There's no, and I love doing that. I love getting people into this. And sometimes I have my little crisis of faith with comics, and I'm like, oh my god, this. But it always comes back.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I think anybody that's ever been into comics, if you get out of them, you're always going to get back into them again. And it's like, yeah, I'm kind of slowing down on the weekly stuff I get. I am. And I'm still looking through stuff. I'll still look at things when I unpack them. But it's just because I have so much. And I have so much because I love it so much. I mean, these don't come off. You know what I mean? They're there. They do, but it hurts more taking them off than it does putting them on. So, you know what I mean?
I heard you pee it out. Oh.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. It's no. That would be scary.
Yeah, just peeing a Wolverine.
Oh, geez. I don't even know the physics of that. But anyway, yeah, but and honestly, for everybody out there that has been coming here for years, and anybody out there who's been coming here for days, it doesn't matter. Just thanks. Thanks for keeping us going. Thanks for keeping everybody going. Thanks for keeping the comics community going. Because without you guys, I'm looking right at without you guys, there's no store.
And prior to coming on, we were kind of discussing the fact that, like, there were shops saying if we don't have a turnout for Free Comic Book Day, we're closing down.
Mm-hmm. And some of them are.
I do notice, a lot of shops are going under. It's like you said, the late '90s all over again.
Yeah.
Honestly, and in my opinion, I hate to see anybody's dream or livelihood go away, but those kind of shops, it's probably healthier for the comic industry as a whole if they do go, because those are the shops that aren't stocking back issues, that aren't selling from the book, that aren't doing these things that it take to maintain that business and build that clientele.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these places are places, and not a lot, but some of them, and some of them absolutely don't deserve to go down. But
for sure.
And that there are some that people will get into comics, and you saw this in the '90s, and you saw this 10 years ago, and especially just even a couple of years ago. People would get into comics, so they're like, oh man, I'm gonna make so much money. They read an article about how Action Comics sells for $1 million, and they're like, I'm going to be a millionaire by June, and that's like, and and they don't put everything into it. They don't put their full attention into it. They don't put their full money and their full work into it. They have part-time jobs other than that, and you can't do that, man.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
And it's in no way dogging on people that collect slabs and stuff like that.
Right.
A perfect example, like, I've got a stack of slabs at the house. These are the books that Jonathan said, get these slabs, put these aside. These are going to be worth something.
Mm-hmm.
And he was right. So, like,
because Jonathan's scary magic.
He is.
He's creepy like that.
He knows the reason that book is going to be a hit. The reason No Heroine's a hit. The reason Saga #1's a hit. Because it's a good story.
Yeah. Because
he's read it.
Right.
And he's met
and that creator. But that's that's the thing. I mean, I'm that's not on the collector side. That's on the retailer side.
Right.
It has nothing to do with collectors. I have to say this almost every day. Everybody collects a different way.
Yeah.
I don't like slabs. I don't like trades. Mitch over here is just kind of a jackass, but he's all right. No, what? No, then he'll come in and he'll look at for certain things, and it's like, how's this? Look through it. It's like, oh, okay, all right, cool, yeah, I'll get this. Like, he doesn't have a hold. He just comes in every week. Some people need a hold, and that's how they feel secure about getting their stuff. Some people don't want to hold because they don't want to be tied down to any book. They just want different choices of things. Some people only come in and look at my quarter and my dollar books. They don't care what they're worth. They just want to read stuff. Some people come in looking for slabs. Some people come in looking for, it doesn't matter. Everybody collects differently. you know. But on the retailer side, you have to be dedicated to what you're doing.
Right.
And that's, especially with something like comics, but I mean, that's if you have, if you have a comic book store, if you have a restaurant, if you're a vet, I mean, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? If you're going to run a business, don't get into it thinking, well, I can buy a nice car, make it a write-off, and just live out my days on the beach while my employees do all my work for you. You have to be dedicated to that. You're not Sam Wall. You know what I mean? You're not Jeff Bezos. I mean, you can't make people pee in a bottle and then just build a dick rocket. That's not, I mean, I've got about half of my rocket built, but other than that, that's why I'm having the sales so I can finish it. But
I've cycled through single issues, trades, digital, and back to single issues a number of times.
See,
I've never done digital.
I can't do digital because it doesn't feel right to me, but some people love it, but that's what I'm saying. Everybody reads and collects a different way. That's a perfect example. I mean, I have people that will read the digital stuff and then they'll come in and buy the books because they want them.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Do it. Every single bit of that is keeping the comic industry going.
I'm that way with my Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I buy it digital and then I buy the physical, so I have it in my collection.
I am that way with pornography.
I am
because I just found out you can see naked people online. That's crazy.
Yeah, digital.
Oh, did we just get demonetized? Digital. No, that's right.
Yeah, we're not monetized.
Okay, then pornography.
So, lot to unpack there. Great conversation. Make sure that if you're in the Utah area, that you come in for the 20th anniversary, stop in, say hi, get some books signed, meet some creators.
And also there's like 2 more weeks of our sale going on too.
All back issues and graphic novels
half off,
50% off
right
now.
And we've got literally thousands of books that haven't put out, and we're just going nuts with this stuff. But yeah, it's it's been a lot of fun. It's a great show. This is like a lot of people commenting and stuff. This is fun.
Yeah, and we love to hear your feedback. We will post a new topic in the groups this weekend, so you can give your feedback and we can discuss next week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the little bell.
Bing, 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 bing.
So you'll be notified whenever we drop it.
Do it again. Bing, bing, bing.
Oh, there you go.
Bing, 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 bing.
All right. And that way you'll be notified whenever something comes out.
Sorry if you're listening to that with headphones on.
All right. We'll see you later, traders.
Bye.